discussion
But
issues and
Singapore is a
Singapore.
country.
getting a
It's
car
one
is a
of those
social
places
When it comes to owning a car in
live
Singapore,
it.
you shouldn't even
Nowadays,
consider it. It's not an
Your
option.
question
Possible
should be
to
what's
be
wrong
even
with
out of your
Singapore.
parents'
I
house
think
at
your
35.
question should be what's wrong with Singaporeans.
Okay, we also have other examples of people who have certain programs that they do during the Christmas season. It's not really evangelical, but it is just showing goodwill towards other people and thinking about other people during this season of where you celebrate goodwill and love and all that for your fellow men. One of the examples is with Mr. Daniel Chi, and he is going to tell us about his Angel Tree project.
First of all, Ken, thank you so much for the invitation. Okay, the Angel Tree project is really a wonderful project. In a nutshell, this is what we do. We go inside prison, and then we bring along with us.
So this is part of prison ministry.
Yes, this is a project that Prison Fellowship Singapore runs every year during in December.
Okay.
So what we do is, with the help of volunteers and even the staff of Prison Fellowship Singapore, we go inside prison, we bring along with us forms, and the inmates will write letters to their loved ones on these forms. And they also will write the names of the loved ones, their addresses, and their contacts. Now, when prison authorities release these letters to Prison Fellowship Singapore, what we do is, with the help of volunteers, we will actually cut out the portion of the form that has the letter, the messages that the inmates write. And what we do is something like this, and then we will just paste it on, with the help of volunteers, paste it on a Christmas card. And together with this Christmas card hampers, it's not like the Chinese New Year kind of hampers, but bags with goodies, food stuff. We will get the volunteers from churches in Singapore to help to deliver these letters, these cards, and the hampers to the loved ones of the inmates.
Okay, this sounds very straightforward, but I understand that actually inmates in prison suffer a disruption in their relationship with their families.
Right.
The families disassociate themselves from
That's
the prisoners.
Right. That's right.
So can you tell us more about this gesture that you do? How does it affect the family? Is it easy to get the inmates to actually write these letters? Because there is actually a breakdown in the relationship.
That's right. Yeah, we do. We do have instances where when the families, when the volunteers deliver the cards and the hampers to this particular address, and they found that the family has actually moved, and the inmate is still has no knowledge that the family has actually moved. I mean, we have such very sad cases, but then of course there's also this wonderful thing about the restoration of broken relationships, reconciliation. But because these letters are hand delivered by volunteers, and together with the bag of goodies, all these letters contains very powerful messages, right? So
For example?
for example, messages of we have inmates writing, asking the parents to forgive, telling their loved ones about the wonderful transformation going on. So the letters are very different from the letters that they write out every month. Many reasons. As mentioned, one of the reasons is because the letters are hand delivered.
Are these on a voluntary basis? That means, do the prisoners agree to write these letters? How do you pick them?
These inmates are in our program, in our Christian program.
I see. So they're already willing to participate in the Christian program.
Correct.
It's not that you approach all prisoners.
No. So they are in our Christian program, and some of them are not Christians, but they are in our Christian program, so they get to participate in this Angel Tree project. So with the help of this wonderful people from Adam Road Presbyterian Church, what we do is that we will organize everything, and then the churches will raise the volunteers, and then we'll distribute, we'll pass the hampers and the cards to these volunteers, these wonderful volunteers, and then they will call up the family, arrange a time, and then to bring the hampers and the letters down.
What are some of the bad experiences that you have had?
Well,
Have you had any
yes,
rejections?
yes. We have some very sad stories of this old man and this old lady that helped to. So they actually had to carry the hamper, the bag with all the goodies, up a flight. The lift broke down, so they actually had to climb the flight of steps, and they reached they knock on the door, and then they say that because this particular family has no contact number, so they cannot call to arrange a time for the delivery. So the only thing you can do is to knock on the door and say, this is the handwritten letter by this person, and this is for you. So what the family did was they took the hampers and they just threw the hampers, and then they took the card and they tore the card, and then they said to these volunteers, we don't want anything to do with this person. But having said that, we also have wonderful stories of, the families, the recipients, they do not want the letter, but then the volunteers say, why don't you just read the letter, because it's a handwritten letter by the inmate. And when they read the letter, they cried, because it's like the first time in so many years they read something about maybe the husband or the son or the wife saying sorry and asking for forgiveness. Yeah.
Okay. And when did this program start, Daniel?
2005.
Okay.
Yeah,
And how many people are you reaching now? Every Christmas?
Every year we reach out to about 700 to 800 families.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
Then
that's
where do you
a
get all your hampers and all that from?
Okay, we have churches and kind individuals and kind corporate organizations that will help us to raise volunteers. Or if they cannot raise volunteers, then they give us a donation, because we still need the dollar and cents to buy the items for the hamper, the
Okay.
bags. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to another one. I'd like to move on to Brian this time, and I think his activities extend beyond Singapore to Phuket. Brian, tell us about yourself first.
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm from Adams Road Presbyterian Church, and a small group of us visits this place called Khao Lak, which is about 2 hours drive north of Phuket, and we visit a place where it was badly hit by a tsunami, and every year end we go there to organize Christmas activities for the children and the villagers.
So, what makes you decide to go out of Singapore?
We are very blessed, and we many a times we take the things that we have for granted. And on the note, initially when we went to Phuket was to bring our children to experience something that's different from Singapore.
But that's a holiday resort, right?
No, it's not a holiday resort. It's 2 hours away from Phuket. So
Okay.
it's a fishing village.
Okay.
And during the tsunami, more than half the villagers, the people in the village was wiped out. So a friend of ours, a pastor friend of ours, he went over there to set up a school, and set up a school for the orphans and the local people, and that was in about 10 years ago. And after that, a few of us form a small group to visit them. We try to visit them as often as we can.
Now we are talking about the activities of the prison fellowship, and we have an ex-inmate here who has become a pastor. I'm not sure whether it's true. I still don't believe he's an ex-inmate. But can you tell us about yourself and what you do under the prison fellowship? His name is Jeff Quek, Pastor Jeff Quek.
Right, I'm from Adam Road Presbyterian Church, like Brian and Jason. We have that privilege of being involved with Prisons Fellowship for the longest time. Period, because I was an inmate.
That's true.
And that is true. That is true. I was an inmate. Number of times I went in, and I think through my incarceration, I was the recipient of volunteers, Christian counselors that comes in, and by them so doing it on a regular basis, not just during Christmas time, I thought, I've grown in my understanding of what it means, the true meaning of Christmas. And Christmas is just not confined to the month of December. Once I fully grasp the essence of what it means, Christmas. So it is a daily thing, and I'm growing. And I think that's the only right thing to do is to bring the same thing back to people that are incarcerated. Because it's like what you have mentioned, the suicide rate, not only for those people who are out there lonely without their loved ones, but the people inside there equally suffer and experience the same sadness, loneliness, especially during festive occasions,
Yeah.
right? And the impetus of me being involved in this ministry, I think precisely, and also working with together with Prisons Fellowship Singapore, precisely because it is faith-based, it is Christian-based. It's all about the gospel. And so, what is the true meaning of Christmas? The true meaning of Christmas is encapsulated in the person of Jesus Christ.
What did you go in for?
What did I go in for? Well, I went in for drug abuse.
I see.
Right, I was a drug abuser. Yeah, that is this a very long. This show won't be able to for me to share my life story. But to cut it the long story short is that I've been in and out several times, 5 times within a span of from my 17 right up. My last incarceration I was released in 2002.
Okay, so
So-
that's 11 years ago.
Yeah, that was 11 years ago.
And you have-
That was when I got my freedom. And just so that it is not just confined to addiction or drug addiction, I think it confines to a lot of other addictions, be it gambling, sex, all other forms, even internet and all.
How about you, Jason? You're also involved, and I don't think you're an inmate. What do you do?
By the grace of God, I'm not yet. We never know. Yeah. And again, by the grace of God, I have the privilege to join Reverend Pastor Jeff and Brother Brian, together with a bunch of brothers in Christ, to spend our weekends in prison with fellow brothers in Christ again.
In the same way that I suppose other religions also have their approaches to inmates,
Right.
like the Muslims and the Buddhists and the Hindus.
And the Catholics. Yeah.
Catholics are Christians too, aren't they?
Right. But we do have different meetups.